Mr. Froehlich here. Mr. Hollenbach here. Mr. Smallman here. Mr. Williams here. Mrs. Jordan
Here.
Madam Chair.
We had executive session prior to this meeting.
Yes, Madam Chair. The board met in executive session for matters of personnel and for quasi-judicial deliberations. And that's all.
All right, public comment. The board will hear comment on agenda-related items at this time. Please approach the microphone, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Jeff Barrett, 37 Clover Lane. I just simply wanted to say a public thank you to Dorothy Moita for her service to the township. I saw the resignation was in the agenda. She will be missed. She was very responsive to our requests and our needs, so we're sorry to see her go. But just wanted to recognize her. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Alameda, Crystal Spring Court. I saw in the agenda that there was the report from the Public Works Department, and I just want to thank you and the people in the Public Works Department for the work that they did on McIntyre Road. They milled the street, they shaved down the berms so people will not risk their lives now when they walk and can't get out of the way of the traffic, and they did a good job at paving. Now, it wasn't a whole repave, it was just partial, but it was better than the patching that's been done before, so I want to thank you on that. Second thing is, I also noticed from the agenda that kudos for us, we got $250,000 of the bequest. I guess you all have to accept that tonight. But I know that we have a $350,000 grant to construct the new dog shelter, and I'm hoping that that money, that $250,000 will go for operating expenses for the dog shelter, which we all care about. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, no comments?
One more.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see you back there.
Charles Clayton, 103 Great Guard Drive. I got a letter from the state basically telling me that I'm going to be responsible for placing a pipe that goes underneath my property.
Is this an agenda item for tonight?
Oh, no, this one was
Just for agenda.
my portion.
Okay.
Okay, attached to the minutes of the regular business meeting of September 17, 2025. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Hollenbach. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Attached is the finance officer's report. Are there any questions regarding that report? Do I have a motion to approve the finance officer's report as submitted?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Small, second by Mr. Hollenbach. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. A list of bills. Do I have a motion to pay the list of bills as submitted and all approved reimbursable items in compliance with generally accepted accounting practices?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Hollenbach, second by Mr. Small. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Police chief's report. The report is attached. Are there any questions for Chief Lefkow? Any comments? No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Public Works Foreman's report. Are there any questions? Engineer's report. Scott, we'll catch up when we get to. Okay.
Yes.
Attached to planning, zoning, and code enforcement report. Are there any questions? Attached is Westier number 1 Fire Department's report. Any questions? Are there any questions for number 2 Fire Department report? And we have number 3's report attached. Any questions? The EMS report. Any questions? Anything from, I don't think Bill is here today. I don't see him. No. Acceptance of the administration assistant resignation. The board received notice from Dorothy Moyer resigning her position as the zoning and planning administrative assistant effective October 2nd. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of Dorothy Moyer and wish her the best of luck?
As a motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Hollabaugh. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Will you take a roll call, Mr. Reader?
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Hollabaugh,
Yes.
Mr. Smolin,
Yeah.
Mr. Wiggin,
Dorothy resigned under duress. I vote no.
Just record the no vote.
and Mrs. Jordan.
Yes.
Madam Chair, the motion carries 4-1.
Resignation of full-time officer. The board received notice from Officer Connor Dobransky indicating he would be resigning effective of October 25th. Are there any questions? I saw Connor. Is he here? No.
He's on the foyer.
We'll wait till. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of full-time police officer Connor Dobransky and wish him the best of luck?
I'll make that motion regretfully. Second.
Motion by Mr. Hollabaugh, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. He's not looking a week at all. That's all right.
Could you guys use your microphones so we can hear?
I'm sorry. Why am I going to on?
I can't hear a word out there. I have no idea.
We can all hear what your things. We just want to wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate
Sorry to
that.
see you go, but thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. West here's where I started out. Obviously, you know, I left for 2 years. Made my way back, and I don't think I'd be the officer I am today if I didn't come here. So I really appreciate the community's support.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Good luck. Authorization of the Froehlich and Barrett Subdivision Plan. The Planning Commission recommended approval of. Did I skip one again? Oh, I'm sorry. Acceptance of the Westier Dog Shelter Bequest. The Township received notice of a generous bequest from the state of Ms. Marshall L. Pauley in the amount of $250,000 for the Westier Dog Shelter. To be clear, this bequest was made prior to and independent of the renovation relocation project. The documents were provided to the board prior to the meeting. Are there any questions regarding the bequest? Do I have a motion to accept the bequest of the revocable trust of Marcia L. Pauley as presented, amended, and to authorize the township manager to execute the receipt?
Motion. Second it.
Motion by Mr. Hollabaugh, second by Mr. Smolin. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the planning commission recommended approval of the Froehlich and Barrett subdivision plan at their September 2025 meeting. The property is located at 300 Road and 2100 Road, Gibson, PA. The zoning district is R1 rural residential. 2-lot subdivisions are to measure 2.374 acres, and the total acreage is 31.798 acres. The planning commission recommended approval of the plan subject to the following condition. An access easement must be created for the newly created parcel number 4. Granting of the modification request from the Township Code section limiting 5 parcels on private street. Granting of the modification request from Township Code section 18525C, requiring a lot to have a minimum of 50 feet of road frontage. Are there any questions regarding the subdivision plan? Do I have a motion to approve the plan per the recommendation of the Planning Commission?
Make that motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Swan, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Authorization for the advertisement of the hearing for Pittsburgh National Golf Club, PRD. The applicant is Traditions of America. The location is Monier Road and Links Way. Contains 188.74 acres. The lot and block is 2011-E-0058. The zoning districts are R1 rural residential and R2 semi-suburban residential. The request is to propose a plan residential development consisting of 163 single-family homes. The applicant is requesting a plan of the R1 and R2 semi-suburban residential zoning districts. Are there any questions regarding the advertisement of the Pittsburgh National Golf Club PRD? Okay, at this time we'll need to set a hearing. Is everyone good for November 18th at 6 o'clock? It's a Tuesday. Anyone on the board have any conflicts? Okay, do I have a motion to set the public hearing for the Pittsburgh National Golf Club PRD for Tuesday, November 18th at 6 p.m.?
I give a motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Hollowell. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Promotion of part-time police officers to full-time police officers. With the resignation of full-time officer Connor Dobransky and the difficulty of retaining part-time officers in the current municipal labor environment, the Chief of Police, Deputy Chief of Police, and the Township Manager are recommending the promotion of 2 part-time police officers to full-time police officers. The board received a memorandum from Chief Lover recommending the promotion of Isaac Sramsky and Zachary Herbinko to the position of full-time officer. They are both here, I think. I don't see Zach, but I know he's here. Could you both come up for a minute?
Yeah.
So we've heard great things about both of your work. You're doing exceptionally well. So do I have a motion to approve the promotion of current part-time police officers Isaac Sramsky and Zachary Herbinko to the position of full-time officers effective November 1st, 2025?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Hollabaugh, second by Mr. Smullen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do you want to get a quick pic with your family? Is something we typically do?
She lives in a miserable way now. Yeah. You can tell you this
Look out here, Zach. What are you doing? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. You guys are so good. Well done, guys.
If you guys want to be set free, you don't have to stay where I'm even. Feel free to leave if you want. It's no disruption. Website redesign and hosting townships. I'm sorry.
We have another officer on there.
Oh, we did? Did I miss one again? The board received a memorandum from Chief Loper recommending the hiring of Shane Zappi for the position of part-time police officer. Satisfactory background checks were performed on the candidate. Loper. Anything?
Yeah, we're just fortunate that Shane's here. He's currently from this area, Cabot, PA. Moved to Florida for about 3. Well, he worked for a sheriff's department in Florida for 3 years. He's coming to us with vast knowledge, a lot of experience. We're fortunate that he came here, so we're happy to have him.
Shane here?
He's here.
Do you want to come on up?
Yes, ma'am.
We have to since we called the other one. Right?
Do you want to come this way? Fight your way that way.
So you're from us here, just stay over here.
From around Butler. Just want to say grateful for the opportunity and glad to be back out here with family and hopefully some new friends and hopefully get to meet everybody in a good way. Usually, hopefully I'll be able to meet a lot of people.
We're happy to have you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion to hire Shane Zappi as part-time police officer of Western Township?
I'll make that motion. Second it.
Motion by Mr. Hollabaugh, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Website redesign and hosting. The township's current contract with Revise will expire next year. The assistant township manager contacted multiple companies and requested proposals for the township's website redesign and hosting. The township received the following proposals. Revise for an initial cost of $10,164 with an annual cost of $8,900. Civic Plus for an initial cost of $27,062 with an annual cost of $8,419. Granite Crest, is that how you say that? $14,581.62 and an annual cost of $14,429.63. Mr. Shook, can you give us some insight, Joe?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. I did send the board a memo that you kind of went into a little bit more detail about each of the proposals and just some background on the companies. I did mention in the memo that really these three options that we received proposals for are all excellent choices. These are the three companies that handle municipal websites. Between the three of them, I think they have over 20,000 municipal clients. So they are the standard when it comes to this sort of thing. Civic Plus is the largest of them. They have about 10,000 clients just themselves. Like you read, Madam Chair, the township is currently have Revise as the provider. They've been good to us, so I want to speak highly of them. As I laid out in the memo, they just frankly don't have the capacity that Civic Plus and Granicus do. They're a little bit smaller of a company, and again, that's not necessarily a negative. It's just there's a bit more, I think, capability with the other two. So, as I laid out in my memo, you can see that I'm recommending that Civic Plus be the choice.
Any comments or questions for Mr. Shook? What action does the board wish to take? Anyone have a recommendation to award?
Just their overall product that they put forward, I think, is more robust of the choices. They have also the highest retention rate of the four there that you see. I mean, obviously the township didn't receive a proposal from the fourth one, but they have the highest retention rate. So in addition to having the largest client base, they have the largest retention rate of almost 99%. So their customers are very satisfied.
Negotiate the initial cost.
That's the proposal you received.
So we can expect some good changes to the website. I mean, I'm very familiar with it. I still have a hard time finding things sometimes.
Yeah, during the implementation process, if the board chooses to go with someone other than Revise, if you pick a different provider, there would be about a 6 to 8 month implementation timeline, which is why it's coming before you now, even though the township contract doesn't expire until July next year, because it's going to take that time.
This money is budgeted for that.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and I conferred when we received the proposals, and he asked for which one was the largest, and that's the number we plugged in, the initial cost. So that's the 27,000 was been plugged in.
So we're covered under the budget.
Correct.
Does anybody else around us use them? Do you know?
McCandless uses Civic Plus, Shaler uses Civic Plus. Those are the two right offhand. I know Allegheny County uses Granicus. I think we're the only one in this area that uses Revise. I'm sure there's other clients, but those just offhand are the ones I know.
It's been my experience that most people use Civic Plus across the country.
Okay, do I have a motion to award the contract for the township website redesign and hosting to Civic Plus in the amount of $27,062 for the initial cost and an annual cost of $8,419. Does anyone have any other suggestions?
This decision, can we negotiate? I mean, if they're that good, I mean, it's substantial. Somebody's double what everyone else wants for initial cost.
Again, that's the proposal you received. I mean, if the board wants to delay this a month, then I can't promise that we'll have a new website up and running in July. That's, again, why you're seeing this in October. Because we're also getting into the holiday season, as you know, and from what I've been told by all three of these companies, a lot of their clients run calendar year for their budgets. So if the longer you wait, the bigger risk you run of, even if you sign on with them, you may be delayed in the implementation process because they just, I mean, there's a lot of people starting their budgets at the same time we are.
Just with all three of these, do you have your own account representative that the township would work with to update our website?
So Civic Plus and Granicus would each provide a direct point of contact just devoted to us. With Revise, our contact has been the initial account salesperson, which has been a bit difficult at times to navigate because that person's wearing multiple hats. They're not dedicated just to resolving problems for an existing client. So Civic Plus and Granicus do provide that. Now, we wouldn't be their only client, but that person, their sole responsibility is to, if I send an email or make a phone call with a problem with the site, they're the ones devoted to answering and solving that problem.
So do they do all of the updates, or do the employees do some of the updates to the website?
We can
After
do,
it's built?
yes, so even now with Revise, staff can do, I'll say 90 to 95% of the updates, but there's certain things, and that's more layout wise, that the company themselves would have to do. There
Am I
is.
correct that we went with Revise last year because it was the least expensive, kind of the best
Yes.
bang for our buck, and
Yeah,
that's kind of what it's.
3 years ago, yeah, when you chose Revise, they were clearly the cheapest option. And like I say, I can't say that it was a bad choice because it wasn't. It's just, where we're at now, I think you get a more robust product with either Civic Plus or Granicus.
Did you try to navigate the other websites to the neighboring districts and see if it?
Yes, I mean, I have experience directly with both, well, actually all three of these. So I'm familiar with their product, I'm familiar with, I have colleagues who deal with them. They,
That much easier to find things?
sometimes though, it's kind of up to the municipality because, the company may set it up, but then,
$12,000 usually. That's what I'm asking.
I mean, I can tell you that if I recall correctly, 3 years ago, Civic Plus's initial cost was around $23,000 or $24,000. So when you factor in inflation, you're talking 3 years later, and the cost is coming up about $3,000, approximately. So,
I just need somebody to take it.
I just can't see the 27,000 versus the 10,000, the 14,000. It seems, that's for setup, I'm taking it.
Make a motion to table until next month, so we can have a little more time to investigate it.
Agree with that.
It's the motion we got on the floor.
Yes, I mean, since no motion was made, we can just go ahead and push this to next month without having formally tabled.
Okay, new business for future discussion or action. I don't think we have any announcements, is that correct? Oh, Halloween is on trick or treat, but Halloween is on trick or treat, that makes sense. October 31st, it's always at 6:30, 6 to 8, thank you. Haven't done that one. Is it? Okay, public comment. The board will hear comment on non-agenda related items of general township concerns. Are you at this time? Please approach the microphone, clearly state your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Sir, now's the time if you want to. Yeah.
Go ahead. Charles Staple, 103 Regard Drive. So I received a letter from the state basically telling me that I'm going to be responsible for replacing a pipe that runs under my property. The concern that I have here is my neighbors have been complaining about this issue for 10 years, if not more. And nothing has been done about it. The township always said, there's nothing here, we can't find anything. They allegedly contacted the state couldn't find anything. Now all of a sudden, there's an issue. My pipes collapsed, my pipes rotted. That water's flowing just fine. Based off of the information that I was getting from the state, my pipe is an 18-inch line. It flows into a state basin that has a 24-inch line, goes across the street into another basin, to which it gets narrowed to an 18-inch pipe, back to an 18-inch pipe, which carries the water away and down to the creek. So if my pipe of 18 inches is too small and can't carry that kind of water, how is it picking up more water from the state road and then going back into an 18-inch pipe? It just doesn't make any sense.
So my recommendation, because this is to call the township manager tomorrow and maybe discuss it that way instead of in public. He would have information that we don't have.
Well, I feel that it's public because of, and I don't want to point any fingers, but it's been going on for 10 years. My neighbors have been complaining about this. And now there's a sports facility going up, and now it's an issue and we have to get it fixed out now. The state gave me 14 days to respond.
I think the flooding at the fire hall number 3 was the issue. That's what triggered it. All the flooding.
Absolutely, which has been going on for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And those of you that have been on the board for long enough know it's been going on for a while.
It was on the board, when I was on the board, we met PennDOT down there and looked at that and had them camera.
Right. And nothing ever came of it. And now there's a sports facility going up, and now it's an issue and we have to get it fixed. So how is it any different now than it was 10 years ago?
I mean, this is not a township requirement, as you said, it's coming from the state. So this board, this board doesn't have control over
If
that.
you look at the ordinance, it is a township issue, not a state issue.
No, I mean,
The state's getting involved because somebody within the board requested their assistance.
I think this is the first, or this is the most recent of multiple PennDOT investigations into this matter. And PennDOT is the one who's made the determination as to what needs to be done. It's not a township decision.
So the fire hall discussed it with the state rep. That's where it started.
Okay. Fair enough.
But
I just find it odd, the timing of everything, just calling what's going on.
I can show you, if things come up tomorrow, I mean, if you want to log into, I'll show you the emails and the videos we got from the fire company. That's what triggered it, and I can show you the emails that we sent to PennDOT, and I can show you the emails we got back from PennDOT. So,
We first started asking questions when Chief Creatoro was getting flooded down there. I'll share with you, I got a letter, the same letter,
Right, so-
that I have to replace the pipe as well. I'm the owner of that sports complex. I have to replace one too, now it's my responsibility as well.
Right.
So you're not alone. But this is a state issue, maybe I can talk to you more about it afterwards. That's not been going on for 10 years, it's been on for probably 60 years.
Yeah, I moved into the neighborhood 12 years ago, so I know for a fact it's been going on for 10 years, nothing ever happened, and now all of a sudden, things are being put together. So I just thank you for your time.
Emily McIntyre, 2143 Saxonburg. I realize you just told him it's not a township issue, but I'm going to make my voice heard as well. I am the property where the pipe and the culvert start. I also got the letter. I'm the one that has been up here. I've been in front of this board 7 months pregnant with the driveway flooded and I can't get in and out. That baby is now about to be 12 years old back there. So nobody's done anything for me. I have talked with Mr. Mater back and forth. You've pinged me to the state's pinged me back to the township. I just want to make it very clear that this issue has been, I have begged for help. Begged, and nobody's done anything. And miraculously, something is happening as of 2024. I just want to put that on record, that it's not until this development was happening. The code enforcement, David Thomas, was at my property, unannounced, with some engineer, looking in my culvert. And when I called him to find out why he was on my property, he said, somebody bought the land, which is Mr. Hollbaugh's land.
Yes.
And There's a ton of water line work that has to be done before that land can be developed. That's what he said to me. So why was development done before work was done to correct the water lines?
That's not true, that's. If you
That's
don't
what the
know.
code enforcement told
Right.
me.
Listen, they're blaming me as well, I'm in the same boat as you. They're blaming anybody around us except themselves. That pipe needed replaced years ago.
So why is it on us as the owners of the
Well,
property?
they're blaming me too, so you're not alone. It's not like I called them. We've all been trying to help Anthony Creatore down there get his fire trucks out. So we're all in the same boat. I too got one of the same letters that you received as well.
Then I appreciate that. But I also had Mr. Mader tell me in 2015 via email twice that my pipe is sufficient for the water, that PennDOT said it was sufficient. I spoke to the gentleman who sent us those letters this afternoon. He also confirmed that while my letter says 30-inch pipe, my 24-inch pipe is more than sufficient. And it doesn't matter what I do, I can put in a 96-inch pipe and it makes no difference because the issue is beyond us.
I have no problem talking to you guys after the meeting. I'm in the same boat. We're gonna.
Okay, I just wanted on record that this has been frustrating. I have been begging for help for years. And these pipes were put in 2004 and 2005 by prior homeowners with no permit whatsoever, and the township never said anything to them, and let it happen. So that's why I'm here to fight for us, because this shouldn't be on us as homeowners.
So this was initiated by Jerry Schaefer, maybe we can bring him into the conversation as well.
Yeah, as Mr. Rob mentioned, it's a state issue, and Ms. McIntyre, I did go to bat for you. I can show you those emails.
I have the emails. I know you did, but then it just kind of got dropped when it was like, it's on you, you gotta take care of it.
See, but that's the issue, and that's what Mr. Rob's alluding to. The town, it's a PennDOT, it says a PennDOT catch basin, it's a PennDOT road, right? That's the state road, it's actually a boulevard. If they tell us that it's not their issue, and we keep pushing it, and they say it's not our issue, or it's sufficient, like you mentioned, and we keep going back to them, and this year, like I mentioned, Mr. Claypool, what triggered it was the flooding at number 2. I received a video text, I believe it was on a Sunday, from the fire chief down there, showing like all these trucks that are pumping water and everything's flooded. And we said, this is ridiculous, and I brought you up. I said, Mr. Wiggins, I just said to him today, I said, there's a woman a lady up the street who would need a canoe to get across her property, and that is you. So this time we were furious about it, this is ridiculous, it has been going on so long. So we reached out to PennDOT, we reached out to Jeremy Schaefer's office. We had a call with Mr. Shoup and myself, and this is what triggered everything. So what we said is just run a water line right along between 2 catch basins, one right across from Rainguard, going the whole way down to on the other side of Dan Smallman's house, which is on the opposite side of Mr. Holloway's property.
The blue house.
Yeah, the issue is, and I'll tell everybody here, the issue is, what they said to us was that it's an environmental issue, that there used to be a stream, you can't redirect the stream. And we said, well, that's ridiculous because it's already been filled in, like way before I was probably even alive. And they said, well, we'll go back to environmental for compliance. And they went back to environmental said no. And so we're stuck. We're in a position right now that the township can't force the state to do anything. I would recommend that, like Mrs. Jordan mentioned, that we get both our state senator and our state representative here to talk about this issue, because it is a state issue. And the state's trying, it's not just the 3 of you either. You Mr. Claypool, Mr. Holloway. There's, I believe, 5 or 6 residents that got those letters. And they're just telling all the residents to take care of that. But in my opinion, and I'm sure Mr. Shoup would agree, there's an easier solution, but
A lot easier solution. Yeah, and fix that a lot easier. I told them that when they were out there. We could fix that whole problem. I'll discuss that with you.
So can we talk to, Jerry Schaefer and Lindsay Williams and see if we can?
I'll forward them. I received copies of all the letters that the residents received, and I'll send them to I'll forward those to Senator Williams and Representative Schaefer.
But I think it would be good if you could set a meeting with the.
Thank you. I appreciate you hearing me out.
So I'd like to have him try and set up a meeting so that if you folks can be there too, that everybody's hearing the same thing and nothing's gonna, you can see the camera footage that they've stuck in there.
We have dated pictures back into the 60s. So the end result is we need the fire department to be able to get out.
We need the fire department, you know, when the truck's out and there's a bad storm.
Yeah.
Mrs. McIntyre, what did your letter say?
Basically, it was just saying that it was focusing on the starting point was on our property, that's where the unnamed stream goes into a pipe, which is, we have about 54 feet maybe of a 24-inch corrugated pipe that goes under the driveway, and then it starts there. So it's an open stream from our other neighbor moving up.
So it's 24 inches all the way down to Saxonburg Boulevard.
That's ours, and then as my neighbor said, that's my direct neighbor, there's an 18-inch.
So your 24 inch goes into his 18 inch and then goes into the catch basin.
Right.
Is there ever a problem with the inlet that is on the northern side of your driveway? Or does it just
The actual
stop?
culvert, the opening?
Or does it
So-
just stop accepting water?
It's eventually just stops.
It becomes a river over top of the yard.
Yeah.
Have you seen more water runoff from the valley than previous years?
So it just depends on the weather. So my husband maintains the culvert and stream and makes sure that it's all clear, that there's never anything in addition, that like debris that could happen. But it's like if we have a dry spell and then all of a sudden we get a lot of rain, we'll see it. Or if we just have nonstop raining, it'll happen. Sometimes it drains instantly and goes right back down. Sometimes it's there for 2-3 hours. There was one on Mother's Day 3 years ago. Number 3 came up and pumped the water out of our yard after 2 days of it not going anywhere because we couldn't go anywhere.
Does it ever get into your house?
No. It actually crosses out across our neighbor's corner and breaks onto the road before it would go into our house. So we at least know that our home is safe.
You're getting a lot of Medial Heights and the development of Redwood Drive, everything's coming down.
And that's the other thing, so on the township side of it, there's no lip on Regard, Regard's right behind us. So there's nothing to help with that either. To
Tell
stop
you
that
guys,
rainfall.
but even if they funnel it down, it's all going to the same catch basin.
Yeah.
The pipes on the sides.
And directly across the street, they have all kinds of water, like this last flooding, it was really bad coming from their side too, coming down off the hill and out their driveway. So it was flooding down both sides of Saxonburg to join into the fire department's flood.
Does that sound like a fair plan to just try and get everybody together? And
Yes.
no matter what the answer is, at least have some finality with whatever it is. Because I don't know what it is, but we'll try and get everybody who's involved together and just talk about it.
I would appreciate that, because I think as homeowners, property owners, we shouldn't be, directly responsible for something that's been going on for decades.
Thank you.
Just one more question. Did Daniel, the environmental issue, would the environmental allow them to do that on their property?
I'm sorry, do what?
For 2143 and 103 Radar, would the environmental restriction that we have with Saxonburg, would environmental be okay with them doing the work that's being asked of them?
Yes, because what they said the issue was with environmental is that there used to be a stream. So you can't redirect the stream. We said, well, it's already piped. They said it doesn't matter. So in the situation, it's what Mr. Hallbaugh mentioned, that tracks are all in Medial Heights. And it goes right, that channels right down into your front yard. And it goes, if there's a stream like Mr. Hallbaugh mentioned, I saw the image of it, that used to cross over in the parking lot to cross number 2 fire hall. And all that was filled in when everything was developed. And that's what the issue is. So it isn't just your pipe. It's not the pipe across the road from you. It's not the inlets. There's probably about, honestly, Mr. Shoup, would you agree, probably about 8 or 9 problems there?
Yeah, there's a good number.
Yeah, and then all of them just contribute to basically that situation. And we said, both Mr. Shoup and myself and Representative Schaefer all recommended that solution, connecting the high catch basin directly down to below Mr. Smallman's property. And because the creek is right there that it drains into. And they said they could not do that. But if they did do that, I guarantee you that problem would be solved for everybody in that area.
We can try and get some help with see what we can get the state to, or we can push them, see what they can do to help us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening. Steve Brown, Bakerstown, Cornwall Road. And tonight I want to talk about a transparency issue I'm having with West Deer Township. On February 28th, I filed a right to know request. For records that belong to the public, I asked for, and I quote, any emails and text messages exchanged between West Deer Township supervisors and the township manager that pertain to township business only. And I gave 2 dates, 4 months. The township denied this request. Now, I want to say this is not a request I made on a whim. This is a request that I made for a specific reason. But the township denied it, claiming that it was insufficiently specific or not specific enough under Section 703 of the Right to Know law, because it didn't identify specific subject matter, transaction, or activity. I appealed, and on April 30th, the state came back and said that the Office of Open Records came back, the agency that oversees transparency disputes, and they ruled in my favor. They said my request was clear enough and ordered the township to search for and turn over the records. This order is legally binding. This state told the township in writing that these records must be located, maintained, and provided because they are public records created in the course of public business. But a few months later, when I submitted a nearly identical request covering a more recent time frame, despite that clear ruling, the township denied it again using the exact same insufficiently specific boilerplate language that they used the first time. In other words, Mr. Mater, when I put that request in to you, you ignored the law, repeated the very same argument that had already been rejected in a substantially identical request. Now, I'll give you this. That's a pretty ballsy defiance, but it flies in the face of open government and the duty to act in good faith under Section 901 of the Right to Know law. And let's be clear, these aren't your messages that I'm asking for. They're public records about public business, and they're ordered directly to you to be maintained and disclosed. In June, Supervisor Jordan told me I was costing the township in excess of $7,000 at that time to get this request taken care of. But I'm not the one choosing to fight lawful transparency rulings with taxpayer dollars. You guys are. You could have just complied with the order and followed the law, but at this point you're gaslighting the public, you're deflecting blame for your own lack of openness, and using our own money to wage lawfare against us. So I'm going to ask plainly, and this is how I'll conclude this, but why...
That's your time, Mr. Brennan.
Excuse me?
That's your time, 3 minutes.
This is my last sentence, may I? Why is, and we did spend 9 minutes talking to the last speaker, just so you know. Why is West Deer ignoring lawful order from the Office of Open Records? Why are public records being withheld when the state has already said they must be produced and maintained? These are the questions that I'm asking myself as I go to the ballot box. Transparency is
Mr. Brennan, that's your time.
It's the law and it belongs to the people who pay for this
Mr. Brennan, please sit down.
The public deserves officials who respect that.
So I'm going to ask the board not to address those comments. We won't even bring up the fact of all the open records appeals that Mr. Brennan has lost that we've defended. So why don't we go ahead and move on to the next speaker?
You've lost one. I've only appealed one. What the hell?
Are there any other speakers?
Watch your language. There's children. Thank you. There's children back there. Please watch your language. Thank you.
Scott Wolsek, Schuster Road. In the past, I've asked you to put some pressure on the water company to do some work on repairing their breaks. And that has been done, at least in some of the most recent ones, and especially the ones on our Township Road of Kaufman Road that they took care of very well. So if you're responsible for that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I just have one quick one, if I could. If it's all right. My name is Chris Lochner. I'm one of the candidates for Allegheny County Council. I just wanted to take a moment to officially introduce myself. When I used to sit or be a mayor, sat in the Township of Hampton.
Mr. Lochner, I apologize. Are you a resident of West Deer?
I'm not a resident of West Deer.
I'm really sorry. And
okay, I just wanted to say hello. Sorry, that be the case?
Do I have a motion to adjourn at 7:50?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. Fleming, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. There you go.